Hey, this is Razz. Thanks for having me on Dro TV. Go give them a shout out and a warm welcome. Great experience. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you so much. Again, thanks for having me on.
Welcome back to My First Time, the show where our guests get to tell their story of the first time they got high from marijuana. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Razz Parker. What's happening?
What is going on? Thanks for having me on the show, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can find more of Razz on Instagram, Razz_Parker. So Razz, thanks for coming on Dro TV. Tell everybody where you're located and a little bit about
Most,
what you got going on
yeah,
in the cannabis community.
yeah, most definitely. I'm actually in South Florida, so been out here for about 5 years. Wish we were recreational, but hey, just medical. So I've been a medical patient now for the whole time that Florida's had it, pretty much.
Okay,
So yeah,
nice.
that is pretty much it on that.
All
But
right. Well, we know you're a medical cannabis
right,
enthusiast, certainly from some of your videos and the content you put out there. So before we get into a little bit more of that, it's my first time, Raz. We want to hear about your first time story.
absolutely. I've got a couple of stories about that because, like, my very first time, I don't really remember, but I'll get into that. So when I was born with the size of a $50 hole in my heart. I had two open
Okay.
heart surgeries, two kidney surgeries, two balloon surgeries. When I was like 3 and 4, I almost died in the hospital. Told my mom, I said, "You got to take me out of here." Even at 4, I was talking. I was like, "You got to take me out of this place." I was in the hospital for a year and almost killed me. And I got out. I was sick every day of my life, pretty much, and up until I was around 16 years old. But I was a martial artist. I was started martial arts when I was 13, and it got my confidence up to enough to where I could get over the sickness. And so I always said when I was 10 years old, I would smoke cannabis if I ever got really sick and I was a terminal, or I always believed in it. I just never did it. You know what I mean? So my parents were kind of like, yeah, we're not for that type of thing, type of lifestyle. So, it is a lifestyle, it's a lifestyle choice. I was, it just didn't have that. So when I went to work at 16, I was working in the pet industry. I never left. I did that for about 18 years. Of course, they drug test. Couldn't really do it. I hurt myself. I got a hernia problem, herniated a disc in my back, herniated my hernia actually, and my lower stuff. And basically, make a long story short, couldn't work, couldn't lift more than 10 pounds. They tried to get me back, couldn't. I had excruciating pain, so I was on painkillers, popping painkillers. And what's really funny with all that is I was doing alcohol too, because I was, I had been drinking and at recreational with friends, but then I got into drinking all the time because my pain got so bad. I was a full blown alcoholic. So before I knew it, I was popping pills, drinking every day just for the pain. Because I just couldn't get comfortable. And so I went to every doctor trying to get better, and they couldn't do anything really for me other than pop more pain pills, and I was just like, I'm gonna die. So I said, you know what? I just started doing cannabis. I was with some friends I was working with, and they said, hey, we got a bong in our car. You want to try it? And I said, sure. I said, before I smoked at a party, previous, when I was a kid, I never really got high. Like, I never got high on a joint. So I just kind of thought it was stupid. You know what I mean? So I basically just tried the bong rip, thinking I was going to get ripped. I ripped it like 3 times. And I was like, damn, I love this, but it's not, not what I'm looking for. It still doesn't do the pain relief. I still love drinking more. So, well, I hung out with another buddy, and he's like, gave me my first dab.
There you
Like,
go.
he's like, have you ever dabbed? I'm like, no. So he gives me this huge dab. I bought this alien dab pen. Don't even remember what kind of pen it was, but it was called the alien of some sorts. And I smoked it. And I was like, wow. So I was like walking on water. I felt like I was Jesus for the first time. I was like, wow, this experience is great. I love it. And I'm not too high. I'm like just where I want to be. I feel like I have no pain. For the once in my life, I have no pain for a little bit. So that kind of built my tolerance up. That was my first time really getting high. And knowing that that was for me, that this cannabis is going to be for me. So I researched after I got on Instagram, and just kind of went the whole 9 yards. Didn't have really the confidence to do it for a whole long while, but I built that confidence, met some really good friends, learned so much amazing stuff about cannabis. And now I make my own oil. You get everything from, the dispensaries and make my own oil. And, and I've had pancreatic problems, got over that. I mean, I still have them, but I don't because of cannabis, because I take it every day, and I'm able to consume an incredible amount. Like, but the main story of this is it got me off alcohol. It got me off of everything. Like, I don't take a pharmaceutical. I was taking tons of stuff for my heart, tons of stuff for like everything, and and that was supposed to be. I'm still supposed to be on medication, but I'm able to naturally treat it with oils, and I go to a natural doctor too. But yeah, it's really cool. So I'm able to do that. And that's kind of my story of what got me pushed towards cannabis, because I was like, everybody discriminates against it. It is a lifestyle. It's not for everybody, but it should be for everybody, if it's by choice, because, it's better than a pharmaceutical drug. And I'm not trying to knock pharmaceuticals. I was able to leave them all. And I have so bad excruciating pain, but there's so many levels of cannabis, and there's so many different ways that you can research and treat different pains and stuff that you have. Like, I have chronic pain, so I have to consume a lot of cannabis. There's no way I can smoke enough dabs a day that can, to curb that. So with dabs, I can take the oil in the morning with my coffee that I make, and it's like an reciprocal spectrum type of deal is what I'm, and it just, boom, I'm bound like brand new. Like like I can do stuff. I'm not back to 100%, but I'm 95% instead of 70%, like on anything else. So that's kind of my story, and hope that helps, somebody out there that you can do it. And I was addicted to all those things, and I had to meditate to get over that. I meditated for, I got into meditation and, mental health things. And I did a lot of those things, and I was able to overcome all the addictions that I had with cannabis. It was crazy. Like, because everybody was afraid I was going to be addicted to cannabis. And I kind of was too, in a way. I was like, well, maybe I'll get so addicted to this. And then, but it was never that way. And it's kind of funny because cannabis, if you take too much, it obviously kicks you. I mean, as you probably know, I just never got addicted to it, and it curbed all my addictions to everything. And I was like, wow. I mean, if a plant can do this, I mean, like, and I can motivate me to do this, then what's next? And so, like, that's my whole research, is just basically science of the brain, of how it works and why it works that way, and what motivated me to become a different person. You know what I mean? Like, that's the incredible thing. Like that.
Yeah,
I think
it is
we're all trying to figure
incredible.
out.
It's incredible, and it's a common theme on the show, the previous two episodes. Users of prescription medication, and once they were introduced to cannabis, slowly got off of those prescriptions. And I feel that's the problem from the other side of things, is they don't want us to be able to just grow a plant, self-medicate. Right. There's no money in that for them. And yeah, I think pharmaceuticals have a place, but the place should be to fix something, not band-aid something. Where if I have a problem, get to the root of the problem. Don't just give me a medicine
that's going to top another problem,
taper over the problem, without getting at the root cause. Now, this natural doctor, is it a holistic doctor? Is it
yeah, kind of. Yeah, he also does chiropractic and stuff, so he kind of like goes over stuff with me. Like, not really I mean, like a doctor per se, but like, I go over like things with him and say, hey, I'm doing this supplement today, what do you think? And he gives me his opinion. And
so, is it like nutrition response testing?
Yeah, I actually studied to be a nutritionist. I actually was getting ready to get my license, like, when I was younger, and I never did because there was not enough money into it. And I was working in the pet industry, making pretty good money to go back to that. And I was actually like, I studied nutrition, so I was like, I can treat all my elements naturally. I just got to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? And so that's what I basically was doing. And no doctor would support me. Like, all the surgeons that I went to, they just thought, they scanned my body. They were like, I don't know how you're doing it, how you got over pancreatic problems. So I was bad. I was bleeding. It was nasty. And it was just, I don't wish pain upon anybody. I mean, they told me I was getting ready to have cancer from it, everything else. Good luck to you. And so I did the cannabis oil, and I just straight up just took it like almost a gram a day. And I know it's expensive, but it worked for me. And I tell you what, I scan my body. They don't know. They said, keep doing what you're doing. And I try to talk about cannabis to my doctors. They go, no, they don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? And it's because it's money, it's greed. It's all it truly is. It's the greed, politics, and money and this stuff. And I come on here That's why Instagram bans me a lot of times, but I come on here to try to preach the good word about, hey, we want to free this plant so people can grow, so people can make their own medicine, so people can be healthier and stuff. But that's not where the pharmaceutical money is. And I understand it, but I don't. It's like I feel like we could have it both ways, but I would like to see, opioids go away because they're not helping anybody, in my opinion. Like, you get addicted to them. I mean, trust me, I was taking like 18 pills a day.
Yeah.
It gives you an idea. I don't know how I'm alive,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't be, and that's nothing to brag about, but I tell the story because, cannabis is not such a drug that it is gateway. It'll open your mind to a better world, to a better view. So it is, I'll give them that. It's a gateway drug because it opens your mind to a better view. And it takes away the bullshit that's in the world and gives you the full frontal view. So you're taking that fish eye lens off and you're seeing the world for what it really is. At least it did that for me. And because I'm huge into meditation. So, and it's just like, I became such a motivational speaker, and that's what I kind of do on Instagram. Where we're at on Instagram, by the way, is Crazy Pop Mama. Go check her out. I'm on there at 5:00 Eastern every day. So, or every other day at least. We're on there. Good vibes. Come hang out. It's a good time. Smoke sesh. We dab every night. So it's a good time. And also Herbie dabs as well. So check him out as well. We're on there as well. So, but we're mostly on Crazy Pop Mama show at 5:00. I want to throw that out there. That's where I'm usually going live. We partner up to go live together. So I used to do my own live shows, but Instagram started flagging me down too much, so I quit doing all that. So, mostly because I did flame shows, I did crazy dabs, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, but you gotta push the envelope a little bit. But that's kind of like what motivated me to be such an influencer. I guess I'm more of a entertainer. I don't consider myself an influencer because I don't influence anybody to do anything. And if people do it because of me, it's because I'm happy, and it's because I'm entertaining, and I want, it's something I believe in. I'm not trying to force a religion or a politic on somebody. I'm just trying to say, this is what worked for me, and I want you to look at this, because if this could help somebody that's had the same treatment I had, and I was on my way to death. I mean, I ended up into a rehab facility because I almost suicide. Like, my wife found me in the tub. It was bad. Like, I had a knife. It was bad. Like, I don't tell everybody this story, but I want everybody to hear it today, because it's not about, I'm coming out from the darkness of, I overcame all that. And they never said I would, even in rehab. They said, oh yeah, you'll be addicted to cannabis. You'll be back in here. And like, I haven't seen those guys in years, and like, and it's funny because they wanted to see me. It's like they wanted to see me back, it's like, and it's really sad because nobody really wants you to be well, that's what I've noticed that in life. And this cannabis community has been really open arms, and it's been really great for me. And yeah, there's a lot of politics in it too, but besides all that, I try not to get involved in, that side of it. I just try to bring the positive and, the good outlook of what it's worked for me. And because, I've gave people some recipes they claim it's helped them. And I'm like, if I can help one person save their life, I've done, God, in my opinion, the universe, God's work, you know what I mean? So, and that's how I feel about it. And that's kind of what I'm about. So I'm a motivational. I do tarot cards. I'm a psychic. I was a psychic when I was a little kid. So, and I thought I was different. I thought I was, and that's another thing. Like, I was psychic for years, and I told people the future, and it scared them. And I always thought there was something different about me and weird. And then people didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in it for a long time. And I started realizing, well, I'm not going to push that aside. I'm going to actually read tarot. I'm going to do everything. So I started doing that and realized, wait, there's a lot of power to the mind, and cannabis has enhanced that for me. And so I was able to read people's tarots on Instagram, and never thought I'd ever be able to do that. And I just started doing that a little bit, and change people's lives. And that's pretty much what I'm here to show you, that you can be in chronic pain, have a smile on your face, have the best fucking time. I gotta say that.
Nice.
And life's not over for you. You just have to find the better regimen,
Sure.
So
we met the Crazy Pot Mama and Herbie Dabs at the Florida Cannabis Festival Did you make it up to the festival a few weeks
Yeah,
ago?
I was at Mount Dora. I totally missed you. I walked right by you. You were people were like crammed on top of there.
Okay.
I
No,
couldn't see
we
anybody.
were
Like
like
I just
stuck
walked
way in the
by.
back. So I know a lot of
I
people
don't.
didn't even see us because we were way in the
I
back.
thought I saw you, but maybe I didn't. Like I was with them, so we were walking through pretty fast. We had stuff to do, and like I'm not a huge crowd person. I'll tell you that. And this is my first time ever going to one of these festivals, so
Okay.
I was seeing the people I was meant to see, and I was like, man, I didn't see everybody, and I wanted to go to the other. I'm going to be at the Port Charlotte one next time, so and I'm going to meet everybody. I'm going to try to stay around and meet everybody, but I wasn't feeling that well that day. I have cardiovascular disease, so I can't stay on my legs. My legs swell, so not to make an excuse, but that's kind of where it was at for me. So I enjoyed it though. It was great. It was a great experience. I had a great time. You know, got to see Miss Canopy out there. Shout out to her at INSA. So that was pretty cool. I got to go on the INSA tour. Have you ever done that? Where you put on
No,
the goggles and they take you through the Grow tour? It's really cool.
no. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. If you ever get
that's for INSA. Okay.
INSA, yeah. If you ever get a chance, if they're doing a festival, or I think they have it actually in their actual Tampa location. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that, but you can do a tour there, and it's really cool. It's like a virtual. You can look up. Really, really trippy.
Nice.
Had a good time doing that. So,
Nice.
but that was,
Uh,
you know,
I want to get into the nutrition a little bit more. My girl and I, we go to a holistic doctor who's also a chiropractor, and we use like the standard process supplements. Is that
that's what I use. Yeah,
okay? Yeah, they seem
yeah,
to be some of the better ones.
yeah. I use
Uh,
black seed kernel oil. I don't know if you use that one. Really good.
I have black seed oil, so when she does the nutrition response testing, she'll test. We can bring whatever. I bring food or all different stuff, and she'll test it to see if it agrees with me or not. So, because I usually go every 30 to 45 days, and I'm on you know a regimen of supplements. I was having pancreatic issues when I was working at a Domino's eating friggin' pizza every day.
Oh no.
So believe it or not, not to toot my own horn, but from the time I started working at Domino's to the time I left, which was 6 months, I lost 8 pounds, and I was in better shape at the end than I was in the beginning. So that's how you combat eating pizza every day. You just go to the gym for an hour and a half every day, and then you skip an entire meal so that when you consume the pizza at 8 o'clock at night. But
Right.
that's I just figured out I'm really good with like figuring out what works for me. But I
Do
wanted to
some
ask about the
intermittent
standard
fasting.
process. So
Intermittent fasting is good. Do some apple cider vinegar with a
I
mother
do
in it. You know,
apple cider vinegar every
great
morning.
for cleaning your body.
I usually do
So,
I usually do like a 20 to 30 hour fast once a week.
so what I
Um,
do is I go out and buy cannabis, right? I chop it all up, put it in like a Pyrex, you know, and take a whole jar of organic coconut oil, like a small regular size jar, pour that in a saucepan, Pyrex, chop up probably you can use an ounce or you can use quarter of an ounce, however much you want to make it however strong. And you put it in the oven for 2 hours and 10 minutes at 270 degrees. And then you strain it out after about a couple of days. You can use it right away. And then you got like a full spectrum tincture that you can take and, you know, take that every day or in coffee or whatever. And boom, there you go. It'll heal your stomach.
you use
So
coconut oil for that?
yeah, you can. I make mine super strong with I reverse it with rosin, so I make called a rosin oil. But you can do it with the ground flour or anything you get from like the dispensary. You just chop it up, put it in like a Pyrex saucepan, 2 hours and 10 minutes at 270 degrees. I use one jar. Quarter's good to use because that's pretty strong, and you can
Sure.
even eat the ground if you want. Put it in edibles. I leave it in for about 2 or 3 days, and then I strain it out. Then you can use that, you know, like a spoon or, you know, you start small, of course, you know, your own body. I do 2 tablespoons. It's incredibly strong. But like, I feel amazing all day. That's one of the reasons I can actually get out of bed. And actually, I believe it healed my stomach because I had such bad, I couldn't eat anything. I wasn't eating. I lost so much weight. I even tried vegan. I couldn't, you know, I could do it, but I lost too much weight doing that. So, but I was able to find that doing that oil, that mixture, and a person on Instagram told me, a lot of people on Instagram told me the recipe. I just kind of modified it as I went on, and that's the one I'm giving you guys today. But thank you. I appreciate all of you on Instagram, like for teaching me all this. But like, I researched and I got really good at making it. And I figured out like no more than 2 tablespoons a day actually ketones your body. So it actually puts if you eat it before you, like I eat it before I eat anything. So my body goes into like full fasting mode, and that coconut oil breaks down all the cholesterol, the fatty breaks down in my body and actually feeds my body. So, and then I don't get hungry until later and I'm able to eat. And so, boom, that helps your stomach. If you do that enough times, that'll, yeah, I mean, it helps me. So, I mean, I would try it. I mean, it's not that expensive to make if you can just get a hold of some flour.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have literally have coconut oil on my, I just shaved, so I got it on my,
Right.
and we actually put it in our pets' food. We put a little scoop in the food every morning. They love it. So,
It's
uh,
great. It's kind of crazy because it's high in fat because it causes pancreatic problems, but it reverses them too. So like it's kind of a counterproductive. Like you take magnesium to actually strengthen your stomach, and I also do that. I take a full dose of mag. I got up to that full dose of magnesium a day. Most people that they would just be like laxative, right? Well, for me, it strengthened my stomach, and that's how I normally go. I know it sounds
mhm.
crazy, but that's it does that reverse effect, kind of like the coconut oil does. If you take it right, you don't overtake it. You don't, like I said, you want to make your strength no more than 2 tablespoons. So if it's not strong enough, it does 2 tablespoons for you. Just up the cannabis that's in it. Put more in. Steep it for longer. Or if you press your own rosin, you can use those pucks, and that'll actually make it like actual rosin oil tincture, which would be really good.
Yeah, there you go. I do oil pulling with the coconut oil too.
Yeah, that works
Uh,
too. Yeah.
so I actually do that every morning. It's my regimen. I put some in their food and then I take a scoop. And while I'm making their food, 15, 20 minutes, I swish it around. So,
So
uh,
yeah, so imagine if you could take a scoop of that with with cannabis, like you know what I mean, and then you would get both benefits.
so I spit
So
it out. I don't swallow it. I spit it out afterwards.
oh yeah, after you pull, you do the pulling.
Yeah,
I
because
got you, but
it's breaking down the bacteria.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
yeah, I do
Uh,
that too. But then I also drink it. Like I just drink the 2 tablespoons. More than that, I split it up. But like you don't have to do that much. You could do whatever strength. What I'm saying is, if you got low enough strength, it wouldn't even bother you. It's just good for a beneficial for your stomach in general. If you take a low dosage, I mean, I started off with literally like an eighth in a whole jar of coconut oil, but that was never strong enough for me. But I had to figure that out as I went. But that was still beneficial. It just wasn't getting you the full entourage, the full pain relief experience that I was looking for. But it still worked as far as a good regimen and a good stomacher, but it didn't mess with me. So you might try that too.
Hey, everybody, I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance is a great way to create your own self sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. How about if we're talking cannabis, we're talking plant medicine. How about any mushrooms?
Yeah, yeah. I actually had a first experience at CannaFest. I got some mushrooms out there from a guy,
Okay.
and right, yeah, some pills, and I took them. I took the heroic dosage, the first time, thinking, okay, well, I take heavy edibles every day. I loved them. I actually was in pain free for a lot of hours, and it didn't cause me any trouble. So I'm a firm believer in them if you take them right. I just don't believe in taking mushrooms as everyday thing because I think they can cause depression. So I've studied that a lot. So I feel like if you take a heavy dosage of those, even in microdosing, at least for me, like I feel like it would make you depressed. But I feel like every once in a while, taking a big dose of it's great, good for your body. At least for me. Like I take cannabis every day, but I'm a heavy cannabis user, so I don't feel like if I'm doing that, I should do a heavy. You got to pick one or the other. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Awesome.
but I do love them. I mean, they've helped me out. Like I probably will take them again in the future. So I just wish they'd legalize them so that way you could, you know, maybe have them for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But
Um, well, Raz, it's been awesome speaking with you and learning more about what cannabis has done for you. So let everybody know where they can follow you.
hey guys, if you want to check me out, I'm on the Crazy Pop Mama show every day at 5 o'clock or every other day at least. So check us out, or you check me out on Instagram at the Razz Parker or Razz_Parker. Check me out. That's where I'm at. Anybody's free to follow me. I don't always follow everybody back unless I know you, but I always get to know everybody. So yeah, follow me if you want, and check me out. Check your shows out, and maybe I'll read your cards for free someday.
Awesome.
So,
And if you like content like this, make sure you go down there and smash the like button, leave a comment for Raz. What has cannabis done for you in your life? And make sure you're subscribed to Dro TV here on YouTube, because otherwise you'd miss great guests and conversations like this one. So Raz, thanks again for coming on the show today.
yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Go check out Dro TV, by the way, everybody. Watch every one of his episodes. They're great. I enjoyed them. I binge watched them, and I was like, wow, 3 hours past it. Go watch it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that very much.
So,
That's it for today's episode. As always, smoke them if you got them.
peace out.
What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, smoke them if you got them.